He looks out for you, but who looks out for him? Everyone, actually. I'm Justin.
Around here, folks say, where's the beef? I'm Sam Elliott.
Will he get a new girlfriend? Will he date an underage prostitute? Will he save a fat guy from drowning? This is Jackie, and this is Lifeguard on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm going to skip what I usually say because I want to let everybody know that I am very ill. Like, very, very ill. I don't have the corona. I don't have that. But I tell you, if a rich businessman came in here and was like, hey, I need you to jump into a volcano to save Wapani Woo, I would consider it. I don't feel good.
It was those motherfuckers in Salt Lake with the pizza.
Motherfuckers in Salt Lake.
Jordan flu game.
What?
You're just like Jordan right now.
Oh, the Jordan flu game. Right.
You're out there on the court. You ate the Salt Lake pizza the night before. All your friends were like, don't eat that pizza.
Yeah, he was poison. I could also be George H.W. Bush, puking Emperor Hito's slap.
A fine presidency ruined by barfing on a guy.
So this week I am not going to be very vibrant.
Well, thank God I picked this movie then.
Yeah, right.
Because we kept the excitement down to a minimum. I'm pretty sure my opening line was more exciting this entire movie.
This is about as low on the excitement level as you can get. Lifeguard.
Before I jump into the thrilling backstory of this film, what's the sploosh count on this thing for you, Jackie? This is a 31-year-old Sam Elliott without his shirt on for most of the movie.
That was the only thing that made this movie worth watching. It's just like beefcake. I mean, it was just like watching work that mustache.
You know what I thought the entire time? I was just thinking, man, I wish you were Tom Selleck. That would be so cool if you were Tom Selleck instead of Sam Elliott.
You hush your mouth, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. They did a movie right around this time. There was a Louis L'Amour adaptation together.
Sam Elliott and Tom Selleck?
Yeah, It's probably better than this.
Their mustaches got in a fight?
I don't think their mustaches got in a fight. I think they started the League of Superior Mustaches.
Right.
And then they were giving away free rides.
I
don't think they were free.
No, those are like $100,000 stash rides right there.
Yeah. Mine's about a nickel.
The penny tour.
Yeah, the penny tour. Okay, Sam, what's the story with Lifeguard? And if you do not bring up Parker Stevenson, I will slap you in the face.
We'll save him because he's the most interesting thing about this. Could you believe that Paramount shelved this for a year? Can you believe it?
I can't.
Well,
yeah, you can, because, where do you put this in a block?
Right.
That's sort of the size of this movie is, they get Daniel Petrie as the director, who at one point was the deputy chair of the AFI. He's won everything you can win except an Academy Award.
Well, this turd wasn't going to get him one.
No.
Well, but for $900,000, they didn't fuck anything up. It's well put together. It's just a character study on a man who doesn't want to grow up.
Yeah, little Peter Pan.
So where do you put that? You don't.
You put it in the middle of winter so that people that are already depressed about their lives look at this movie and go, you know what? At least I'm still not working at Burger King like I was when I was in high school.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way because usually you can't have a film based around summer in winter. I mean, name any release during winter that has a summer tone to it. You don't do it. Maybe September you could do it. Because, I mean, it is, there's a little tinge of endless summer that happens here. But
you can either chase this when one of your blockbusters needs to quit underperforming in September, like you're saying, or you can just say, fuck it, and toss it on in April, but I don't think either of those things happen because I couldn't find returns on this. And one of the reasons is that it's produced by Ted Mann, who owned the Mann Theater chain. So it probably never got a block. It probably because it was Ted Mann producing it and Paramount shooting it, that they were like, when I got nothing to put in my theaters, I'm just going to run this thing around it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And it took about a year for that to happen, which means that Kathleen Quinlan, who I guess was nominated for an Academy Award in Apollo 13. I don't know if that was ensemble or if she did really good because I don't remember being in that.
Is she though? Is she?
She's
Jim
the jailbait.
Lovell's?
She's Jim Lovell's wife.
Okay. Yeah, she was good in that. Now that I
So
remember.
she got it. She got the nod on her own, I
Yeah.
guess. She was only 20. She was actually 21 when they shot this.
Right. Yeah.
The thing that I was surprised about is I was like, how old was Sam Elliott when he was playing this 32-year-old? He was 31 when they shot this.
Okay. All right.
So it was right in there.
He's an old guy. He's been around for a while.
He's so sexy. There was one shot that you almost got to peek up his shorts, and I thought maybe I saw something, but then I was like, he's probably got really hairy balls.
Oh,
so
very.
that's probably
I'm sure
what
that
I
they're just.
saw, right?
It's just a forest.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
His chest hair is maximum. Like, yeah, him and Tom Selleck. Men.
Yeah.
Real men.
If that's what you.
Sexy motherfucker. Yeah.
That's what a man looks like.
Then I am not a man. I can get the mustache. I have no chest hair.
I'm getting pretty hairy. I'm not gonna lie. It's becoming a problem. Our sinks don't drain right.
Don't worry, honey. I found an extra thing of Drano, so I poured some down there while you were gone yesterday.
I'm finding them on my neck, like weird long hairs, like on the side of my neck, where hair doesn't grow, and I'm like, dude, not cool, man. Stop it, body.
Speaking of grossness, and also grossness with a film centered around statutory rape, here's some weird stuff. Sharon Clark, that plays the flight attendant, who you get to see her boobs at the beginning, she was the oldest person ever to get Playmate of the Year until like the 2000s, when somebody who was 33 got it.
Wow.
So that's how creepy that place is that a 27-year-old woman was the oldest Playmate of the Year for 20-some-odd years.
27, yeah, that's
Wow.
I mean, 27 is still pretty prime, you know what I mean? You know?
She was 30-something in this, and she looked pretty prime. They have that model on the beach with the fashion shoot, and I'm like, get her out of here and bring back Sharon Clark. When you guys were like dawdling before recording, I was like, oh, yeah, take your time. I'll just look at more pictures of Sharon Clark topless.
This movie's PG. Like, I know it's 75 and there's no
Buoys.
PG-13 at this point in time, but it's like not Andy Sedaris chock full, but it's pretty. There's quite a few cans in this movie.
Do you think that anyone paid attention to it when they were rating it, or did they fall asleep?
Right.
Even though the boobs are out front,
Yeah.
so it should have been noticeable.
Right. Yeah, and it's not like brief nudity. It's, hey, I can now draw your boobs from memory.
Yeah, there's a lot of really creepy undertones in this movie.
I also didn't find when exactly it went from 16 to 18 in California, because in 1970 they upped it to 16.
Right.
But it was at 75 that they upped it to 18? Because like they're clearly stating that it's illegal, but I was looking at it going, is it? Yet.
Yeah, because
Must have been, I guess.
the timeline on this would have made it 1975.
Right.
Because he's doing his 10-year or 15-year reunion, and he graduated in 60.
Yeah.
I like how they kept those numbers like nice and at the fivers so that you don't have to really think about it too much.
Yeah, when I had to do the research that I tried to do for the statutory laws when we did the Dirty Dancing episode, because there's so much dispute about, oh, no, it was totally okay back then. And no, it never was okay, guys. We don't suddenly change our fucking morals. It's wrong to have sex with children, period. At any
Unless
time.
you're in New Jersey
Still wrong, Sam.
and Utah.
Still wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, it's really hard to backtrack. And those laws change so much. I mean, they're constantly in flux, and it's really stupid.
I did notice, though, at the same time that they upped it to 16 in California, they downed the age of majority, which I didn't know that was. Apparently, until 1970, you had to have your parents' permission to get married until you were 21, but you could get banged at 14.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. All right. What if you're? Well, I guess if you're pregnant, a pregnant teen, and your parents probably know.
And at the same time, there's probably all sorts of decency laws that make sex unwed completely illegal. So it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Sure doesn't. Yeah. Don't say gay, Florida. Cool stuff. All right. Parker Stevenson.
Parker fucking Stevenson.
Jackie wasn't sure who he was, but wow. Try a different role, Parker.
Or is that like we've got to have something else, some other angle to make, because no one thought Baywatch was going to work.
David Hasselhoff sure fucking did.
He sure fucking did, but nobody else did. Mm-hmm. And this is a producer that's like, well, maybe if we get Parker Stevenson, then people won't be so upset about a lifeguard on TV, because he was in the movie Lifeguard, and they're like,
nobody watched.
What?
Yeah. Like, it's a really weird decision. Like, they had the guy on Baywatch who was their technical director. I can't even remember his name. It's not Mitch, because Mitch is Mitch. Bald guy.
Joe.
No, his name wasn't Joe.
The chief of lifeguards.
No, because the chief of lifeguards was David Hasselhoff. But he was a real lifeguard.
Man?
He was a real lifeguard in real life, and so he was their technical advisor.
Oh,
but
the guy was always driving the boats.
Yeah, right, with the mustache and bald.
The bald guy that does the good dives.
Yeah.
He was so charming that they're like, we want you to have a role on this. You're just awesome. So they already had him, and then they bring in Parker Stevenson to add some credibility. Like, it just is. I mean, he's in the red shorts and everything in this.
It's like they brought in Parker Stevenson to add credibility to Baywatch.
Yeah, he once played a lifeguard on screen for like 20 minutes. He's our guy. So weird.
You remember?
Yeah.
He's the guy that can't tell the guy to put his wiener back because it looked like his dad.
And how much?
That guy.
How much did Hasselhoff pull from this? Like, did he just late night Gilbert Gottfried one night, see Lifeguard and be like, kablam, all of the money?
He shot the first episode on the same fucking beach for some of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, like the hot dog stand that Sam Elliott goes to. And I know he has to drive to that one, but it's very similar to the look of the hot dog stand / diner thing in Baywatch.
And especially like the general Baywatching that happens in this movie. Like, there's 4 probably interludes of just Baywatching that have nothing to do with the plot, just clips of random lifeguard activity. I swear to God, some of those things were plots for Baywatch episodes.
Always take your orange thing.
Yeah.
The character's the same. It's just 10 years later.
Right. And there was an episode of Baywatch where Mitch was like, I'm getting too old for this shit. What am I going to do? Do I take the desk job? No, I love being a lifeguard. It's in my blood.
So maybe this was Mitch's pre-movie.
The prequel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Rick Carlson as Mitch before the divorce.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's really weird. Just uncanny. I mean, which sucks because this movie is not for me. I did not like it. I'll just get that out of the way. But I'm glad I watched it because it's like, dude, the fuck?
Yeah.
I was expecting more of a Baywatch type of movie. Mm-hmm. Nobody fucking dies. Nobody almost dies.
No.
Well, the old guy,
and
they resuscitate him pretty fast.
The teenager, who we'll talk about, she almost dies.
No, she doesn't.
She was getting pretty far out there.
Kill herself.
I mean, I can think of more efficient ways, but, eventually you get pulled out. You're gone.
You get pulled out, and you're not coming back without flippers.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been at the point where if I wasn't wearing flippers, I would have been in real fucking trouble. And I had to go down, too. I had to go down about 10 feet. Good thing I had a snorkel to even get against it to where I could get back in.
Jesus.
And no one can see you when you're that far out either.
Even if they're out looking for you on boats. You are a needle in a haystack, literally. Like, your odds of getting found are like less than 10%. You do not go out far. It's a dangerous world, Jackie.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the time that we went to Hawaii and we swam out past the no swimming.
Yeah, we got our asses kicked. You remember how bad that was? We were underwater and the wave came in and just smashed both of us against rocks. Like, don't go past the line.
And we were lucky we made it back in.
Yeah, just stupid. I remember this one time where I was out in the ocean and I saw this. I'm not kidding. I swore I saw a mermaid, and it you know, the clamshells and everything. And she was like, "Come join me." So I swam out to her, and I got out there, and she was a manatee. So I had sex with her. But then I was like, "Wow, I'm way out here." And then my new girlfriend said, "Get on my back," and we floated over the waters together.
Wow.
That's how a lot of old sailors got lost. Is they would start, I mean, probably scurvy, but they would start seeing shit and come out here, be with me, dive in, swim out, gone forever. Not kidding. I'm not making that up. That's a real thing.
So do you know who was the first choice for the role of Rick?
David Hasselhoff, of course.
No, he wasn't even old enough yet.
Oh, God, 75. If you say Charles Bronson, I'm going to shit.
No, it wouldn't have worked as well, and it barely worked. Mm-hmm. Beau Bridges wouldn't have been able to pull the shirtless thing off nearly as well.
But I'm getting too old for this shit. Well, no, that's not true. Beau was a good-looking dude.
He was, but the shirtlessness in this lends itself to someone with the physique of Sam Elliott.
That's true. But yeah, okay, all right. Speaking of, what's the guy I just said? I'm so sick. I can't think.
Beau Bridges?
No, Charles Bronson. I went out and talked to my mom, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't even know how it came up. I think I was saying that Sean Connery slapped his ladies around." She was like, "Don't even tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know." I'm like, "Yeah, don't meet your heroes." And then she brought up Charles Bronson about what a nice man he was, and how she was doing a painting for a friend, and the friend was like, "I want a picture of Charles Bronson," and I was like, "What? Nobody has ever asked for a picture of Charles Bronson ever. He's a gargoyle." And my mom was like, "No, he's not. He's handsome." And I did a spit take. I was like, nobody's ever said Charles Bronson was handsome in the entirety of this universe.
There's a lot of women that never saw anything above those pecs.
I guess.
We'll just say that.
That's true. He was pretty shredded.
They are for real.
Yeah, he was shredded.
That guy is shredded.
But he's a gargoyle. Okay, sorry. Stop derailing the podcast. I said I wasn't going to talk very much, but I just can't help it. These gums just get flapping, and it's like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right. Somebody else please talk.
All right. 1975, released in 1976, aerial shots and hippie bullshit. The first thing that I write down is hippie bullshit because the music is hippie bullshit.
Oh, my God. Did you look up who Rick Williams was at all?
No.
Or Paul Williams. Paul Williams.
I wonder
if he was related to Andy Williams, because it's kind of similar.
Mostly on the music end of it, as I didn't care about the hippie bullshit, I had to make sure that it was, in fact, Moon River that had been grifted for the reunion. And it was. They just grifted Moon River, right? And I guess that's okay.
Paul Williams did the music, and I think the song, the best I could determine was Mind the Love. Like... Just
Way of the Wind was one of them, because I watched all the way through the credits, and there was 2 songs recorded for the movie.
Like,
they both sucked. It wasn't the first one.
Mind the Gap, but Mind the Love, like, oops, pardon my love. Excuse me, love coming through.
Yeah, Mind the Love.
It was such a dumb song.
Then we get Rick telling a guy who's jogging... The only place jogging's going to get you is back where you started. I guess that's real. And later we will see him himself jogging.
I was pretty much done with this movie when he said that. I was like, that's the stupidest thing anybody's ever said.
Well, when he goes jogging, he doesn't even wear shoes. but he's jogging on the hot cement. This seems like a very poor idea.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't think he wears shoes in this entire movie.
You gotta wear shoes on the beach. There's dirty needles.
And it's hot.
This is
It's hot.
70s. They don't have that yet.
Yeah.
There's still remarkably usable beaches right here in LA.
There's no needles, just bottles of Quaaludes.
Yeah, the last time I went to the beach in LA, it was that beach. It wasn't that long ago, and they had mostly cleaned it up. I went into the bathroom. They didn't make it to the bathroom with the cleaning crew. There was trash bags over the urinals, full toilets of just diarrhea and chunky turds all the way to the brim. I was like, oh my God, I can't pee in here. I should pee on here. I should pee on the side of it. This is terrible. Peeing in here would make it cleaner.
That's disgusting.
Oh man, that's horrible.
It was, there was poop on the walls.
Oh my God.
Oh, so it was bees.
Yeah, it was a Candyman.
It was the Candyman
It was-
there.
It was L.A.
Candyman lives in the toilet. Still confused about that.
I kind of feel like this podcast, we're not really going to be talking about the movie so much as, and that reminds me of something else that I want to talk about right here.
Right.
Because let me just give you a heads up, listeners. I picked this movie. I thought it was going to be Baywatch-esque. I am also sick. And I have never been so fucking disappointed in my life.
Yeah, it's built as like a sex romp. Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And you don't get any good sex scenes. The one extended sex scene with the people who are actually in it, you get these weird shots where you're like, is that a leg? Is that enough? What?
Ann Archer doesn't get the twins out. It's too bad. I've always wanted to see them.
Yeah. You just don't see anything.
Yeah, it's globs of skin. I'm not sure whose that is.
Well, I guess they probably shouldn't have got one of the most academic filmmakers ever to make this and turn it into a very broad character study on an aging man.
Yeah, you wanted to see some knockers.
Well, and by the end of it, you just kind of feel, I don't.
Well, let's table it for the end.
Yeah,
Smart
let's
guy.
just. So then we meet Chris, Parker Stevenson's character, Craig Pomeroy from Baywatch. Craig. On the first, it's weird because I first see him and I'm like, why this fucking guy? And this is why this fucking guy? Huh?
Yeah. Jackie's
So they're-
Parker Stevenson, hunk man meat.
No.
Okay, all right, just checking.
He just kind of looked stupid next to Sam Elliott. Like, put your shirt on. You're ruining it for me. And you could tell that he was not into the lifeguarding business at this point in time. He's not tan. I don't think he's tan throughout the entire movie. He just kind of looks almost there. Like, he just got back from vacation. He's got a nice light brown going.
Yeah, he's been up at UC Santa Barbara hitting the books.
Yeah.
He's a college boy, and he's going to get shown the ropes by Mustachio, the professional lifeguard.
Mustachio.
And he's telling him about everything, and the first thing that he needs to know about is that's a machine gun. Why is he called machine gun?
these kids.
Because he has the world record for jerking off. And then, this is the best part of the movie, I think. It's all downhill from here. Actually, Sharon Clark's tits come out, and that's the best part of the movie. So it sort of goes uphill, because right here, Chris is like, I thought I had that. We all thought we had it. Till he showed up.
You're still pretty close, though, Chris.
And then he tells him that they're the sexual assault team of the beach.
These kids, this is so weird. And I mean, not weird as in like weird filmmaking decision, but like, why aren't you guys arresting them? That is not acceptable.
Yeah, they're a gang of kids that get in the water and then they molest women.
They have a name. The Underwater Destruction Team. They have t-shirts that say UDT on them. The Underwater Destruction Team. And the destruction is bikinis.
Yep.
I mean,
So gross.
Later, he excuses them when they're in action. I'm not really skipping ahead, but
Right.
he's like, "Well, what would you do if you're that age? Come here the first time you got a hard on for 2 years."
so therefore it's all right. That lady's having
Where's
a
the
real
beef?
bad day, but you know.
I'll tell you where the beef is. In those kids' pants. All beef Franks. Rock solid for 2 years.
So not okay.
It's like if you stuck a ballpark in a freezer for 6 months and then pulled it out and hit it against the counter, you'd be like, damn, that's a hard wiener.
Also, no fucking the teenagers. You leave that to me.
Right, because the next thing that gets brought up, I mean, is it I can't even remember where Wendy comes in, and Parker Stevenson is like, oh, I want a piece of that, and Sam Elliott's like, that girl's 15, how dare you even freaking say that? Oh, wait, you're 17? Oh, okay, well then.
That's not till the next scene, because right now we find out that he has a Corvette.
Mm-hmm. Bitchin' one. Black Stingray.
The convertible black Stingray. Mm-hmm. Is this the Stingray 2 or the 3?
2, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he looks excellent driving it.
It's one of the best looking cars ever made. Impossible to drive, but
it will later create a conflict of his soul.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then the stewardess shows up and we get to see boobs. He is clearly uninterested in being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tells him, you know what? You're technically really good at the business of sex, but there's no heart and soul there.
But do you want it? Do you want to try to put some heart and soul? Just a little? Just a little? He's like, no, I'm good.
And this is the point where she should really just get out of bed and go put her clothes on. This is the thank you, ma'am. Now you can leave.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No, if she's there for that, she should get another round of shagging before she leaves. Yeah. She's got to get back on the plane. She came here for one thing. She may as well double up.
Should get a doggy bag.
She was, testing the water, though. She's like, don't you want that? And he's like, lady, your problem is you want everything. And she's like, that's not everything. To me, it is. I'm already drifting off with my attention.
You missed that he also received an invitation to his 15-year high school reunion. Now that's showing up because it is important.
Yeah, in this character study, he's grappling with whether he wants to show up because he's a bit of a shiftless layabout.
Yeah.
Anybody who decorates their apartment when they're 30-something with posters and,
posters of himself.
Yeah. Winning surfboarding championships.
Glory days.
Yeah, it's like you have an office for that shit.
And he, when she's trying to take a shower, he, turns the water to cold or hot or something because he's this many. Mm-hmm. And then she comes out and bangs him anyway. And it's like, we could have let her get more clean. She's just spent 12 hours in a fart box. Let her finish that off.
Well, I'm half defarted. Jackie made the observation that he probably smells terrible too, though. So
yeah, he probably smells like BO and sunscreen.
Seaweed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sunscreen and seaweed. Ooh, that's a deadly combo.
So yeah, we're now caught up, and he's gone back to work, and then some jailbait has cut her finger on A&W root beer can.
Wendy.
She now has TMJ.
Tongue and mouth disease?
No, where their lockjaw. Because she has tetanus.
Oh. Mad cow.
No.
Wood tongue?
Tetanus.
Wood tongue?
What the hell's wood tongue?
Cows get wood tongue. I was raised on a ranch. They get wood tongue. Their tongue gets all hard, and it just hangs out the side of their mouth, and they look really stupid, but they can't eat, and they die. It's called wood tongue. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this shit up.
Yeah. All right.
I make a lot of shit up on this show, but this is one of them. Wood tongue. And then you slice it off and make little sandwiches with wood tongue. Wood tongue sandwich. Okay, I made that part up.
Okay.
I don't. What disease do you tell? You don't get lockjaw from tetanus.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Stupid.
That's weird. Do your hands? I'll be honest. I don't know anything about tetanus.
Well, tetanus, actually, I didn't learn about this until the last time I looked it up a few years back. It's not necessarily from rust. It's actually from the fecal matter of the cow.
That's on metal?
Yeah.
Why is the cow pooping
it's
on
bacteria. Metal? Because they're covered in their own shit most of the time.
Yeah, but...
And they just rub up against the fence.
So if you go to a junkyard, part of owning a junkyard in scrap heaps is to let cows poop on the stuff?
I think people just thought it was the rusty metal when it turns out it was the bacteria.
Huh.
Because we know so much about bacteriology and virology.
Right? Huh. Okay. I'm going to have to verify that.
Yeah, it's probably because of how good this information lasts. It's probably changed 10 times since I read about it.
Yeah.
Either way, she's now got lockjaw.
Yeah. Oh, you're really good looking.
She's got lock eyes on his balls.
Right. We can also just call her Red Flag. Because it's not, I mean,
Phew.
I thought that this was going to some place where it was like, oh, star-crossed lovers, they, Romeo and Juliet, they're not allowed to be together, but they really do like each other, and she's a breath of fresh air in his life. No, she is a fucking problem. Even if she was 36, she is a basket.
And I thought right here that what he was going to do was steer her into Chris. Because that would have made more sense if they found out she was 17 and he's 19. He's like, this will be fine.
Yeah.
You guys will be fine.
Yeah. But no.
Nope. And then...
First rule, don't go out with young underage girls. It's rule number 1, Chris. Don't do it.
You do 10 years.
Don't go out with them. Bang them in your office.
Right? Because, oh man, all right.
So, yeah, sexual assault team hits its first victim here. They find it to be festive comedic jest. Do nothing about it.
Nothing. Nobody does anything about these kids pulling a lady's top off in the water during a photo shoot.
He, even after they're laughing about it, he's back like, I was back on the swimmers, Rook.
Right. Oh, man.
Let me look at these titties.
Give me them binoculars.
He goes to a bar where presumably he bangs the lady he's talking to. I find this very interesting in Earth foreshadowing. Every movie, because if there is no direct product placement, they're always like, give me a beer. And then they do, rather than go, what kind of beer, dickhead? Like the first time you go into a bar as a human, you're like, give me a beer. And they're like, what kind of beer, dickhead? You've been watching too many movies and you just turned 21, huh? Nice. But he orders a Coors and would later become the spokesperson for Coors. Little odd. There is Coors product placement all over this movie, though, so...
Are we going to talk about the dialogue between these two?
Please.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so, you be Sam Elliott.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for a doctor's office.
Oh, God.
What kind of doctor?
A gynecologist.
Hear that field's wide open.
Yeah.
She says no. It's hard to get into.
It's hard to get into.
Oh, pretty tight then. That's verbatim what happens in the
movie. Can I put my penis in there? You were supposed
this
to be
conversation's going nowhere. Let's bang in front of pictures of myself.
Oh, so weird and gross. Jackie the whole time was like, God, I wish he'd talk to me like that.
No, because I wouldn't get the into windows. Yeah. And I'd be like, why do you keep saying weird shit like that? Like, I work at a gynecologist's office. I'm a fucking receptionist. Like, don't be weird. What do you mean it's wide open? Like, no, it's not. Okay. Like, yeah, okay, this is a temp job, and I got this through going through the temp agency, but, it could turn into something permanent. Why do you keep saying that stuff? God, you're so weird. Get out of here.
He's already gone, moved on to the next victim.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to skip ahead here because we're still on page 1 of notes.
Right.
There's a couple of interesting things to happen here. We've got, what is the little buoy thing that they carry?
I don't know what those are called.
Does Mitch use it as a weapon in Baywatch at any point?
Yes, he does.
Okay, because, that's more Baywatch stuff, because he comes over and these guys are beating up Machine Gun, and he uses his little floaty to beat the crap out of them and shake them down. He also has to give mouth-to-mouth to back hair that has a human attached to it.
That was a weird-looking dude.
Yeah, wow.
And then the statutory rape situation progresses to where she tells him that she's from San Diego, and he doesn't go, That's like 90 minutes south of here. Just go visit your friends. And we find out she has an MG. No, it says Triumph, isn't it?
No, it was a midget.
It was a midget?
Yeah.
Okay. She could just drive there. That thing gets like 46 miles to the gallon.
It's a beautiful coastline, and a beautiful car, top down. Get out of here.
Gas is what, like $1? It was the gas crisis, but she still has like a really good gas mileage car. And her parents are obviously rich because she has a midget and she's 17.
But she's like, yeah, but have you been with many girls? And he's like, yeah, like maybe 1,000. And she's like, that's a lot. I've only been with one dude. Can you be my second? Well, remember, oh yeah, I'll just do it. I mean, he doesn't even defend, like, there's no mental, moral quandary. You don't see any wheels turning inside of his brain. He's like, get inside that shed and I'll bang you against the wall.
Well, it's almost...
And does it.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's like, well, how can I say no to those puppy girl eyes?
I could.
Throw you a bone here.
I mean...
Get it? I did a Sam Elliott.
Yeah, kind of.
So then he goes to his folks' house.
They really...
And he uses his classic joke, which is the third time I think it's come out, like, how'd you do today? 3-5. Not so bad. Because 2 people died, I guess, is funny.
Right. Hilarious.
But his dad says, okay, that's better than Garvey. Because he's watching the Dodgers game. They're stinking.
Yeah, I heard a Bill Buckner mention on the TV.
They sort of are really happy to see him, and then they lure him into the dinner so his dad can browbeat him about being a bum.
Yeah, you're a damn dirty crumb. You're a crumb bum.
Yeah, like your brother is going to be raking in the dough after his internship. And you, sir, are still a goddamn lifeguard. And you brought sand up your butt crack again, and now your mom's going to have to vacuum out those kitchen chairs.
You crumb bum.
Also, what do you do with an elephant that has 3 balls?
Oh, that joke. Boy.
Walk him and pitch to the giraffe.
Bump, 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 bump.
It never gets old.
Doesn't?
I never
I've heard
that.
that joke like 20
How
times.
have you not ever heard that joke?
Hershiser tells that joke.
Yeah.
Who the hell's Hershiser?
Oh, boy. All right.
Who the fuck is Oral Hershiser? What?
Who is that?
Hershiser?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm fucking Queen Jackie.
No talking for you now. Hershiser.
Yeah, you
American fucking hero, that's
You've
who.
insulted Sam twice now by making him watch this movie and then claiming ignorance for, I watch a lot of baseball, she said when we met. You're a big baseball fan, are you, huh?
I don't know any of the players' names now.
Party like it's 1988, Jackie.
Now? Hershiser played in the 80s.
Oh, so he was part of the great cocaine
88 Dodgers.
binge.
No, I think Hershiser was straight.
Hershiser's clean as a whistle. That guy's a farm boy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
He doesn't
of the
swear.
Pirates.
He's so clean. That's like his favorite. That's Oral Hershiser's dirtiest joke.
Right.
Because it has balls in it.
Oh. Okay.
But they're not real balls. They're the kind of balls that when you're pitching.
Metaphorical balls. Metaphorical sport balls.
Did I ever tell you guys a story about the 1980s Pirates and their mascot?
Isn't it just the Pirates?
So they decided they needed a mascot in the 80s. So this guy goes down there, and at the time he was a painter.
If this ends as a joke, then the punchline is
It needs to
Buccaneer.
end with Lasorda strangling the motherfucker because he did that a couple of times. Lasorda did not like the mascots. Go ahead, Jackie.
So anyway, this guy shows up and he's just strung out on cocaine. So he's just like being a complete and absolute fucking nut, right? So they gave him the job. And he becomes so popular with the fans that they get him a little golf cart thing, right? So he can drive around the stadium and throw out T-shirts and shit. So he's so high that he drives out of the stadium and gets on the freeway. And I guess this happens so often that the police just give him an escort back to the stadium, right? Because he's just fucking high all the time.
Okay.
Well, he ends up becoming the cocaine drug dealer to all of the entire ball team is now hung up on cocaine, and they're calling this guy, and he's partying with all the players. And that's his lifestyle.
Wow.
So I guess the 80s pirates were just a bunch of cokeheads. That's my story.
That's
the
fantastic.
end.
What is the pirate's favorite crop?
Oranges.
Oh, that's not bad. Corn, because it's only costs $1 an ear.
I don't get it. Stupid. My answer was way better.
Oranges.
Oranges. Okay, we should talk about this.
So, yeah, he gets browbeat for being a shiftless layabout, and his dad's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And he's like, I want to be an adult man who bangs teens. Goes back to work, and she's sleeping outside of their love. And he's now greeted with reason 364218743 why you don't bang teenagers. Reason 1, there's about 4 million other reasons why you shouldn't.
But he even tells her, he's like, what are you doing here? Like,
She stalked him.
He's like, don't you know how many people get raped and killed on this beach at night?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the reason he gets there so much earlier than all the surfers is because he's got to run the dead body getter.
Oh, I was thinking
The
about
sand cleaner.
when she shows up to his house.
Oh no, that's
That's not yet.
That's
She's
not
just
yet.
sleeping
Okay.
outside of his office beach box thing
flag.
tower.
yeah.
She's gonna move in there until he lets her move into his house.
So you're saying I banged a homeless teenager. All right.
Yep. We get the wiener guy shows up here.
Oh, the wiener guy. I like
yeah.
the wiener guy. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. A little...
Just straight faced, walks up to people, shows his weenie.
What would you guys
I
do?
thought-
Say you were on the beach and you didn't have access to ice cubes, because I know what Sam would do if he had ice cubes. But what would you do if a guy pulled his wiener out on you at the beach?
I'd probably start laughing
I think I would
hysterically.
start laughing.
And I would point,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "Oh my god, why are you showing that to people?"
Or
That has
just-
I'd
nothing
give
to
him-
be. Oh my! Well, if we're going for comedy here,
The
buddy.
casual, sarcastic, nice. I mean, what do you want me to do here, pal?
It's a wiener.
What's the end game?
Fuck off, buddy. I think that's what I do.
I probably would just start laughing my ass off.
When
I'm
it first
rude.
starts, I think he's peeing on the beach is what it looks
Right?
like, but it's not
No.
when you find out that he's shaking his wiener out. So, like, there's a shot of him, like, warming his dong up
Yeah.
so that it's nice and plump when he's shaking it at these people.
Perverts.
So, yeah,
Hilarious.
after that, Chris can't do anything about it because he looks like his dad, I guess.
Right?
Which part, the wiener or the head? Because he was like, hey, sir, and then he looks at his wiener and then he runs away like, that looks just like my dad's wiener. Now Wendy has stalked him to his house.
That is so not. That's like, okay.
Can I
You're
come in?
Hanging out at the beach. He needs to close the door and possibly call the police. But then he would go to
I'm
jail.
pretty
He's
sure
screwed.
he bangs her instead and then goes to his reunion.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, and maybe he's dealt with this before, so he knows that if he shuts the door in her face, right, she's going to cause all kinds of problems.
She's going to go full on fatal attraction.
Yeah,
Kill
so
his bunny.
he's just like placating her, but he's not going to sleep with her again because it wasn't that good, and nobody wants
I
to.
think he makes out with her and then we see him at the reunion. So I'm pretty sure they bang again and he's just playing the long game where she's going to become disinterested eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe he should be like, give himself a handicap in bed, like one arm behind his back or something, so that it's not very good.
She's
like,
not going to know the difference.
she's
She
not gonna
slept
know
with
the
one
difference.
dude.
Yeah. So she's like, this is amazing. He's like, God, you are just a dead fish.
Yep. She's just laying there like, ah.
And he looks up at the calendar and he's like, 10 more days before she just sees something shiny and wanders off.
He hopes. I don't know, man. When she goes to your house, like, I followed you home. Oh boy, I'm not gonna live long, am I? That's what I would think.
I would probably just be like, okay.
She's gonna stab me, I think.
Well, and he has a peephole. He
Or
never uses it.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he just, like, not answer the door? That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. I'd look at the
He
peephole.
doesn't.
Because he's down with it. He's like, oh, that's totally acceptable behavior to stalk a man from his job to his home and then park yourself here and pick up a knife and chop his dick off while he sleeps. That's normal.
Yeah. He also doesn't have access to the peephole because he's covered it with a poster of himself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why he's not using the peephole.
All right, so he's at the reunion. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, and I'm so glad we haven't had to have any of these.
Well, you and I haven't. Jackie's had the opportunity.
I don't go.
Yeah.
I might go to my 20-year just so I can be like...
That's already happened.
Yeah, that's come and gone.
Oh.
Come and gone.
Shit, really?
No,
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah,
you're 38.
skip that boat. boat
20
train.
on college is happening for me next year.
All right, sweet. Well, now that I got a friend that I actually talked to from high school, maybe we'll go together.
For your 30th?
Yeah,
30th high school reunion?
Me and Lainey.
When you start noticing that there's a drop-off in attendance because people have died.
No, that happened like the year after I graduated.
No, I mean from like natural causes.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody's getting kind of old.
Yeah, when you get kind of old and reminiscent, and you're like, I still have all my hair, bitches. Like, I'm still going to be looking pretty good. I've seen some of the other people that I went to high school with, and they look like hammered shit. So I might be a little plumper than I used to be, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm still looking quite nice. I mean, in the face and in the hair department, I look great.
My fingers are okay.
Well, my nails are a little shoddy right now from packing.
I really like my elbows.
Hey, I do not have gross old lady elbows with the scaly skin on the... God. You should just see some of these people. It's like
All
the
right.
lizard people, Justin.
He does have a little bit of fun at the reunion by razzing one of his old buddies who's now a kept married man, and he's like, oh no, it was him that took us down to TJ. He was chasing all those hookers with a $5 bill. Did you tell her about the donkey show? And then he has to go home now because he's in trouble.
He's in big time trouble.
Big time trouble.
Jackie, you've been to TJ. Did you stop by the donkey show?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't on the tour. I asked about it when we paid this woman to take us shopping around Tijuana. And I was like, is there a donkey show around here? And she just started laughing. She's like, I think that Americans make that up. There's no donkey show here. I'm like, are you sure?
Also,
because there's a donkey right there on the corner of the street painted like a zebra. She was like, that is not the donkey show. And I'm like, so you do know what I'm talking about. And she's like, we have bullfighting. And I'm like, ooh, let's go to a bullfight, Mom. And my mom was like, no, we're not going to goddamn bullfight. The sun's going down. You take us back to the hotel.
we don't know what that old TJ was like, because what year did they close that prison? It was in like 2000 or the 90s, right?
Hell if I know.
Yeah.
So the reason that TJ was because there was a prison that had like your family can come in and visit you. If you bribe them enough, you can just walk out and go back in. Like it was a day stay prison.
Okay.
And it ran the town. And the reason that TJ was because of that prison. And I believe they finally were like, this whole thing is not okay. And so it's supposed to be a lot better now.
So maybe in 75 there was a donkey show.
Well, there was that prison, I think, still.
Yeah.
And TJ was still super
Well,
dangerous.
actually, it would have been 15 years before that. So,
Like I went to the
1960s
beach
donkey show.
that was right on the border of California and Mexico. That is kind of a scary experience because there's no guards on well, there are some guards in the parking lot on the Mexican side of the border, right? And they've got big guns, right? But they're pretty much not bothering anybody. They're just there to make sure, the tourists are okay and whatever. And there's lots of little families on the beach and stuff, right? Then you look across on the American side and there's like all these soldiers with these big ass guns and they're in full gear and you're like, I want to stick my hand across the fence just to do it, right? But I don't dare because that guy is looking at me and he's like, don't even fucking do it, lady. I will shoot your goddamn finger off.
As soon as it happens, like the air raid sirens go off, a chopper flies in from behind a mountain, then battleships come up on the shore and point all their guns straight at you.
And they're like, get the fuck on the other side. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Meanwhile, in the movie,
We're nowhere near TJ.
he meets Ann Archer and their lost love is rekindled. They pick up right where they left off, where she starts bitching at him for not taking him to grad night and makes him hold her shit.
Grad night.
Yep, because he wanted
Whatever
to
that
take
was.
Sex Pot Sally.
Is that like prom or something?
I don't know what the hell that is.
Who fucking knows?
We had like a grad night, but it was at Boise State. It was at the Sub.
Uh-huh.
And so it was like bowling and games, and they just locked us in all night.
Oh. And you guys had an orgy?
No.
That's what I would do.
I grew up in a Mormon town.
Caligula style. Yeah.
Whatever.
Whose fist is that?
I don't know if it's mine or not. I'm up to the elbows on either side.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's like, here, hold this. Like, what? If you have too much shit to hold, bring less shit. It's a reunion. Said every man ever and every woman ever says, fuck you, hold my shit. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll hold your shit. So then they leave and they go back to her house where she's like, here's my son. You should wake him up fucking me.
Right.
I'm like, no, not okay.
I
Like,
want you to meet somebody.
you got the kid asleep in there. It's all about take me out to dinner. I'm going to get a babysitter, right?
There was no babysitter. That kid was just there by himself. He put himself to bed. He was like six years old.
Yeah.
Like,
This is.
Well, no, she has a maid.
Yeah, she has a maid, Rosarita.
maids don't take care of babies.
Yes, they do.
I think she lives there because she says don't call when I'm not around because my maid doesn't speak English.
She's like,
She's Senorita Belvedere.
yeah, right.
That's Three's Company.
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it.
What was Mr. Belvedere?
Right up in China, never heard him before. Who cares? That's Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah. Good call, Sam.
Oh, man. So,
But then he's like, he does say something super romantic here where he like, no, I'm not going to wake up your kid banging you. Plus, I can't bang you because I could never do it only once. And then he kisses her and he leaves. And I was like, ooh, that's a good, strong move right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
and then he goes home and masturbates to a furious climax.
He goes home and he bangs the 16-year-old again because she didn't leave his fucking house.
Right, she's still there.
She's in the bushes.
Uh-huh.
She's like, hey, I was just passing by. You never left, did you? No, stay in bushes. Look, I brought my army blanket that I had down at the docks.
and the severed head of a rabbit.
He left her inside and she rearranged his record collection in order of psychosis.
Not good. Red flags. Red flags. So
Cut to the beach Olympics?
yeah, the lifeguard relay. This is also a
But
Baywatch thing.
I guess that's a thing. Cool. Whatever. What about the rowing contest in boats that are definitely not built for rowing
Right?
speed?
And they have holes in them. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but they have holes drilled in them.
Oh yeah, the little port on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-bailing, I guess. So they have this in Baywatch?
Yeah, they're, Mitch and Craig are the top guys in the lifeguard
So they
relay.
the Baywatch has really used this as a blueprint
I think
for
it
its...
has to have. I mean,
Good
if
Lord.
somebody happens to be a lifeguard at the Baywatch, write to us and let us know if you have competitions up and down the coastline with the other lifeguards. But as far as I know, it's just a TV thing. That sounds really stupid.
Well,
Like you're going to drive all the way down from Oregon to get in a little race, and people are going to cheer and scream your name. No, what the? Who are you guys? You're lifeguards. You're not athletes. Go do athletes stuff someplace else. Lifeguard themed sports. What?
Also, if you can still do this, why are you not surfing anymore?
Right?
Like, the heartbreak was too much. I think that's the only missed thing on this character study is we don't ever find out why no more surfing.
Yeah.
They missed that. Either way, no one can beat old man time, and he sucks at this now. And then one of his buddies kind of makes fun of him for banging 16-year-olds, and he tries to beat him up. And he's like, I was just joking. I banged the teenagers too. And he's like, all right, that's fine then. I guess you are old enough for that now.
We're all friends here. Yeah, they get second because he's too old.
Because he's too old. And then cut to him being a new dad.
Yeah, he's Papa. Instant family.
he's owning it, though. He's teaching this kid to swim. She's making him burgers.
He's like, as soon as she turns around, I'm drowning this kid so I can get rid of him.
You just had too much.
Male lion.
It's horrible.
I'm going to kill all the kids in the neighborhood and knock all these ladies up.
Oh, man. Oh,
They're talking quite like very particularly about their past and their new life. And she's like, I saw the painting today. And I'm like, what? Good. This is your job. You should be selling one every day, I guess, or not. I don't know.
He's like, I saved 3 out of 5 today. And she's like, oh, shut up. God.
When are you going to get a job at the Porsche dealership?
Yeah, to do the Porsche thing. I'll even send you clients. You will make so much money. You won't even have to do anything. Just stand with your shirt off next to the Porsche. And the guy will come up and be like, can I be you? No, but the closest thing you can do is buy this fine automobile.
Yeah, but he can't do it. He drives a fucking Stingray.
He drives a Stingray. What's he going to replace it with? A 914? Hell no.
Hell no.
The 911s weren't even very good in the 70s. I'm no offense. I mean, they were...
No, 75, 76,
fun
I thought
cars.
had a pretty good 911.
Fun cars, sure, but dude, I'd much rather have the Corvette.
Yeah.
Even though you can't drive it. It's too big.
You can't drive it.
But
at this point, too, it's like... he's held on long enough. I really feel like Lifeguard administration is gonna be where he should end up not selling cars. He's gonna self-destruct in what, 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
We find out later it's 3 days.
Right. If that.
Back at the beach, Wendy's now in love with him, and he's like, it's too dangerous.
For you and for me.
Find a kid your own age.
Yeah.
Don't cry, Wendy.
Let me take you over here and introduce you to Machine Gun. He's horny as fuck. Not going to be much of a lay, but, you know, a little bit of practice and some elbow grease, you might be able to train this boy up to be your bang boy.
Or Chris.
I mean, she's like, no, I want you. I want you.
Because everyone knows that if you get dumped or are being told politely to piss off, what you do is you break out into your ugly face while you cry, and then they're going to fucking take you back.
Oh.
Ugly face crying works every time.
No, you look terrible.
And all I could think was, how much snot is in his chest hair now?
Oh.
Gross.
Where are we at?
She can use it to tug him off.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Is it?
It's pretty gross, Sam.
Have you been to the bathroom over there?
Sam would rather just be on the outside of the building.
It's better than the alternative.
Risk the $50 ticket.
Okay. All right. Clears that up.
There's like a family dinner again, and then he's like, I guess I'll sell the Porsches, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then back to the beach. She's going to try to kill herself by swimming out too far. I found this interesting that whatever rig they had to use was so heavy that they were filming with Panavision stuff. So they had to switch to a 16 millimeter camera on this, and you can really tell.
Yeah.
Because the other camera was too heavy to go on whatever boat they had.
Okay.
It was one of those ones that had holes in it.
He's like, make sure you never do that again, young lady. And she's like, I won't.
Or the whole setup was just too big for whatever boat they had access to.
Yep. Now you go to school tomorrow and make some new friends.
Cut to the art gallery where he's telling her, yeah, I've got this problem with this teenager I'm banging.
Right.
And she's like, it'll just work itself out.
Don't tell her where I live, though.
70s.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, so you want to move in?
Yeah, why don't you just move? You know, that way she won't know where you live. You can move in with me and my child, and you could bring your...
and she can babysit for us.
Your red flag around. She'll stalk us, and then maybe she'll murder me in my sleep and leave my child an orphan because you make bad decisions, Rick.
And then he yells at some guy that's trying to buy a painting when he shouldn't even be bothering at work because they can talk about this tonight.
Let's talk about it over dinner, babe. Let's give it some thought. Sounds great. I'll see you tonight. Kiss, kiss. Also, don't call the cops on me.
Let's just keep that 16-year-old stuff between me and you.
It's between you and me. It's our little private relationship secret. You know, fun. You're having fun, aren't you?
Yeah.
I promise she's safe. She's never done anything crazy or dangerous ever. And not well. Okay, so I did just tell you about when she tried to kill herself by swimming out into the ocean. Yeah, she stalked me back to my place. and let
She's
herself
like, that's
in.
nice. I gotta go sell painting. Shut up, Sam Elliott.
Boy, I hope she doesn't hurt anybody. I'm sure it's fine.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's safe. It's safe. This is the
Algebra
70s.
will get her next week.
Man. Yeah, and then he yells at that guy. Like,
Yeah,
you're not doing good, bud.
he's not. And then his unbreakable spirit puts on a Canadian tuxedo and goes to work in the morning.
No, my favorite is right after he yells at this dude, right? And she loses her sale. Then he comes back and he's like, the offer's still on the table.
Yeah. Am I
Like-
still going to move in with you? I'm sorry. I just lose my temper sometimes.
Like, no, buddy.
That was about $15,000 you just cost me. Thanks.
He's going to buy it
Yeah,
anyway.
you probably will.
That guy's buying $80,000 worth of paintings a month so that he can look down her shirt. That's what's happening. I can't talk to anybody else about this painting. Yes, you fucking can. He tells Chris to, stay on the books. And then Machine Gun shows up and goes, I'm going to do what you said and work on getting laid. Well, that's the ticket, champ.
Quit pulling on
Okay.
it. Quit pulling on it so much. What are they going to call you? What's your real name? Because they can't call you Machine Gun anymore. If you try to go get laid, you're going to be not pulling on that wiener so much. My name's Harold. Okay, Machine Gun. See you later.
Yep. Movie's over.
Movie's over.
No.
Okay.
The Porsche guy shows up and he's like, hey,
right.
Oh,
good
yeah.
news,
yeah.
bad news. He's like, hey, I need you to go take the phone off the hook while I go save this asshole that I told to get out of the riptide. So he goes out, saves the guy. The guy's a total dickhead about it. And Porsche guy was like, so are you ready to start selling Porsches? And he's like, nope, I'm not going to take the job.
I'm going to be a lifeguard.
I'm a lifeguard and I'm damn good at it. And then this lady runs up all hysterical. There's a man in the bathroom. And then he taps on the thing. He's like, you need to come out of there so we can talk about this. And the guy's like, I'm undercover. Beat it. And he's like, no, you're not, sir. Get out of there. Wah, wah.
I'm so glad I chose this. This is the life I chose and that I belong in. Getting pervs out of bathrooms.
Tell them to put their wieners away.
I can't quit you, Beach.
Yeah.
I tried to get out, but you pulled me back in. Okay. Questions.
He's dying alone.
He's dying alone, right?
Wait, no. Well, no. I mean, he's got two options. Hobie is either Ann Archer's or Hobie is Wendy's. Which I'm going to explore both scenarios.
Okay, all right.
Which means that whatever her real kid is pretty fucked up. Because she gives it, 8 years before she finally is like, you are never going to be anything but a lifeguard. And he goes, remember when I moved in after I yelled at that guy in your office and didn't take the Porsche job?
Right.
I thought that's when we established that I was never going to be anything but a lifeguard. And she's like, I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. They're not making it. There's no way.
They're not.
There's no way.
Which is why I think that option 2 is what happens.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't move in with her. He finds out that Wendy's pregnant. And then by 26, she realizes that she wants to party like a rock star and he just has to take Hobie.
Right. Yeah. No, I love it. And then Baywatch episode 1, Trouble on Thunder Mountain or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because we know his character arc. He ends up in Hawaii at a wedding, and that's the last we ever see of him. Unfortunately, because that movie sucks.
Like, works for the county. And that's the other thing is that ultimately he's put in his time. Eventually, once he lands that full gig with the county, they're going to appreciate all of the other years into like a half-seas on his retirement, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I've known a number of guys that have, that I was never getting on them about it, but people are like, why are you still doing that? Like Forest Service guys that never got on full time. Once they get on full time, they accrue a bunch of that towards your retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cutting down trees uphill for 15 years, they're going to give you something for that.
Jackie, got any thoughts?
Oh my God. The lifeguard is a loser. And the only way that I don't think he's a loser by the end of this is because I'm like, you know what? This is a lot like Baywatch. So it's going to get more exciting now that he's fully committed.
He marries Wendy.
He does, and then they divorce.
Oh, God.
But he does the right thing after doing the wrong thing, and that's what makes Mitch Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A guy that's not in this movie. Okay, I'm done. Final recommendations. Start with Sam.
I almost think you kind of should watch it. It's not very good. It's good.
It's really
just
boring.
not for anybody. It's not what you'd think it was. It's an advanced character study on a man who can't age. It's put together very well. Other than the one time that they had to jam a 16 millimeter onto a boat, the footage is seamless. It's just, this has no fucking audience.
Yeah. I mean, it like, does anybody like Death of a Salesman?
No.
Nobody likes Death of a Salesman, yet it's like the most popular thing ever. Or not popular. You have to know about Death of a Salesman.
Yeah.
This is just Death of a Salesman, right? And
Death of a Surfer.
Yeah, Death of a Surfer. And I don't like watching it. I just, okay. I got my own shit I got to deal with about getting old and stuff. I don't need to see somebody else get poopy about getting old and buying a Corvette and getting an earring. I'm doing that just fine on my own. Like, nah.
Yeah, it's too boring.
It's too boring. But yeah, the Baywatch tie-in is interesting. Jackie.
If it wasn't for having seen Baywatch and liking Baywatch, I would say don't watch this.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a Baywatch fan, you almost want to. Because I'm pretty sure that this is where Baywatch came from.
I think it is.
I guess that's the caveat. Only the committed Baywatch fan can watch this movie.
Still craving Baywatch? Well, this is sort of like it. Might scratch a little bit of an itch. Or if you're a Sam Elliott completionist. But other than that, no, don't watch this movie. It's boring. I didn't like it. Okay, that's, I guess, it, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. Jackie will be not on the podcast, I don't think, for a little while as she gets settled in to our new location, and I'm gonna be recording from a laptop. So it'll just be Sam and I's BS show.
Next week will be my ranting and raving about Wheel of Time.
Okay. Look forward to that, but it won't be next week. It'll be the week after that or the week after that because I have to move across the country.
Sure.
During that week. So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, we'll miss you guys. We'll be back once we get a house, probably early June, and can pull our equipment out of storage. So get to the chopper.